Chill.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to an exciting episode of VFX and Chill. I am Hashi, and here on screen with me are Seth and Michael, and we are here to talk about visual effects and some exciting ways to make them, but more specifically, we are here to do some timed challenges using a software that we are not good at yet, but intend to get good at by subjecting ourselves to public trials by fire.
That's a very good way to describe it. Hashi, how are you, pal?
I'm doing well. It's Friday. That's exciting. Snowy winter. I don't know how the seasons are doing for y'all here in this hemisphere.
Michael and I had some snow this week. Michael, ours is gone. What about you guys?
Long gone. It suddenly turned 60 degrees for Fahrenheit.
It showed up, killed a bunch of plants, killed some vehicles, and then left. Just left. No goodbye or anything. But yeah, I hope everyone out there has been safe. Apparently all of America has been colder than usual this week. I wish I knew what we were doing next, as I would say, speaking of cold, and I'd find a way to go into it. But I feel like I'd insult somebody if I said that.
Speaking of
down
cool,
the wire on this episode, by the way. If things fall apart, it's only because we were fixing things at the last second. Sorry, Hash, go ahead,
this OBS setup is taped together with duct tape.
I feel like your latest drop would be appropriate for this, Seth.
You mean...
Why do we have to cut these things so damn close?
I just realized it absolutely applied to this episode, too. Perfect.
No, but like you all know, like Seth and Hashi, fantastic in After Effects, getting good in Cinema 4D, but ZBrush, kind of new.
The final frontier.
It's an amazing piece of software. It's been used across a bunch of industries for a long time. It's the industry standard for digital sculpting in AAA video games, blockbuster motion pictures, and also dentist offices and toy stores. Well, not toy stores, but toy makers. And like, it's a fascinating and amazing piece of software. But just these two haven't really touched it a whole lot yet. So,
nah, we haven't, and it's only out of pure fear.
Yeah, as I was saying to Seth the other day, I want to be an expert immediately in something. Otherwise, it must be dumb.
Well, the second I start to feel like an expert, I want to teach it to everyone to secretly show off. The problem is
that I've always known. And
we did an episode on a two-part. No, it was a one-part episode that got cut in half, where we taught ourselves ZBrush. Michael can link to that in the chat. That was several months ago. I have since forgotten everything. I was planning to get caught up this week, and I kept putting it off until yesterday. And then we had some car trouble yesterday, and I ended up having to deal with that all day, and did not get around to relearning how to use ZBrush. So I need to be taught how to get started before we go into any of our prompts today, if that's okay. But first, I think, Michael, you had something you wanted to show people, right? We wanted to talk about?
No. Let's just go right into today's stuff. I'm excited.
All right, so guys,
and gals and non-binary pals,
absolutely.
Get ready.
Sorry, I was talking to you two, but.
Oh, us guys. Well, I'm not prepared to do anything.
Let's just tell them the name of our show today, which is World War ZBrush. Today we'll be going we're doing time challenges. In case, I honestly don't know if you guys said this already because I was finishing getting ready. We are gonna split the screen down in half. I'll be on the right, Hashi will be on the left. With our ZBrush windows open. And Michael is going to prompt us with a reference image and a prompt for what he wants to sculpt. Now, I've got timers, 3 different timers. I've got timers for 20 minutes, timers for 10 minutes, and timer for 5 minutes. What's our plan, guys?
I think that we start with the 20 minutes because we're going to be getting our Z legs, and then
ZBrush.
Yeah, and it's true. As a Canadian, I should be saying ZBrush. So.
Or I'll use the one that doesn't say it. That'll be the drop for today.
Perfect.
All right. So,
Excellent.
sorry, what did we say, 20 minutes?
We'll start with 20 minutes. And do we want at all to start with make sure that we both have ZBrush working and can start a new document?
Sure, let's do that. So I believe I have ZBrush open here.
I see ZBrush on your screen, Seth. Yes.
Excellent. Okay, so let's see. Which one is me?
You're the one on the left, Hashi.
I'm on the left. Okay. Oh, I see. My little Skype window is cropped. I want to see full video feed and pin this. There we go. My face is in here. I love it. All right. So
and there's an empty spot, by the way, in OBS, but that's where our timer is going to go. So don't judge me.
Excellent. Yeah. Don't judge that spacing. Goodness.
I hope you all are ready for this in viewer land, because I'm very excited to see what comes of this.
All right, so how do we start? What do we do first?
Well, one thing that I always do, which is not great, is that right from the light box, I'll open the like a Dynamesh sphere and start working with it. Now, technically, from a fresh document, I think, so if I went to a new document.
Yeah, can you break that down, Hosh? Because you know this. There's what's the hierarchy of project file world here?
What was confusing to me at first is that there are three places that say save, which is over here there's a document save, right here there's a file save, and then over here you can load or save tools. And so that was very confusing to me at first. So tools will be basically, it comes with a handful of primitive kind of ones, but eventually the actual mesh that you're working with is stored as a tool over here. If you're just trying to save the geometry and mesh, you can save your tool here. It may exist along with other different tools in a file right here. So if you want to save your file with like a robot head and a robot body and arms and things like that, then file is where you want to save your project with all of its tools. Document, I believe, I don't know how to explain this very well. I feel like the document is this. This is a new empty document where I can take a tool and then draw this sphere into it. But right now it's just this is all 2D-ish.
Hang on, can I cut in real quick just for a quick
please.
second? Just so you know, we're also going live on the ZBrush YouTube channel today too.
Oh, good.
So, hello ZBrush people. If you don't know, blame Kyle. Hashi and Seth, either side of me here, do not know ZBrush. They've maybe used it once or twice in their lives. So this is your chance to watch people who have not really used the software use it in a fun way. So you can feel reassured if you don't feel confident in ZBrush. Neither do they. And they're still going to be having fun today.
Excellent. Also, just so you know, if you're watching on the Pixelogic stream, usually the bulk of our group chat is happening over on the Red Giant channel, the Maxon Red Giant channel.
Yes.
So if you want to be in a crowd with more people, lovely. And you're also welcome to just watch right from where you are.
Yes, we're also streaming on the Maxon Training Team YouTube channel and the Maxon YouTube channel. So we're in quite a few different channels. And Maxon Red Giant on Twitch
YouTube channel. We don't know how we did that.
Always, yeah.
Does the White House have it? Anyway, so yes, this is how to start a new document. Have you got up ready to go, Seth? Because I'm ready to drop you your first.
I don't have anything up.
So
sorry.
So what you have open right there is called the light box right here, and there's when you open up the light box again. There's a project tab up there. And from here, you can load up a project that will have some of the standard tools that you would want.
So
a quick way to jump in is you could just double click on the Dynasphere, and then that actually loads this file in, and you're already in edit and
is yours
draw
32
mode.
or 128?
I did the 128 just because I'm just imagining that higher numbers are better.
Yeah, definitely, especially when I'm running a stream too. All right. I opened the 128.
From
so now
here,
what do I do?
So from here, put your little cursor on top of it, and you'll see that there's some symmetry going on.
Yes.
See?
But
And
don't I
if
wanna
you
save this
click
as
and
something right
drag,
away?
right now you're on a standard brush, which is basically an additive brush that allows you to add stuff onto it.
Yes.
Now, what I have found for me working with ZBrush,
Is first off
the
to work
best
half
way-
screen.
first of all, working half screen is exciting. It's going to be fun, everyone.
I can do face here.
The navigation is slightly different from Cinema 4D, and so on a PC at least.
Michael, is your first prompt Ronald McDonald? Because I did it.
No, my first prompt is not Ronald McDonald.
Never is.
I'm raring to go, by the way. Now, I will say, starting with a Dinosphere is probably going to be a good choice for several of these prompts, including this first one.
Michael, Hashi, I'm sorry I got distracted drawing Ronald McDonald. Tell me what to do.
So just so you can practice the feel for a moment, I'm not sure how this translates to Mac, but on a PC, almost everything for the navigation is clicking on the right mouse button. So you can click on the right mouse button at any time and rotate around like this, or you can hold down Control, and that'll zoom you in and out from your project.
Hang on, are you using a mice or are you using Wacom tablet or
I'm
NC
using a
Labs tablets?
trackpad.
Or
I have a trackpad. Hashi has a mouse, right?
I have a Cintiq that I could also use for this, but I need to order new nibs. I'm not loving what it's.
Yeah, gotta get new nibs.
no,
Yes, so
gotta get
sculpting
new
with
nibs.
mice and trackpads. Heavens.
on half
right.
screen with mice and trackpads. I have an
This
iPad
is-
Pro. Can I use that? No, that
This
crashes
is
the
like
stream.
not yet. Well, and also, ZBrush is not yet available for the iPad widely.
True. Now symmetry.
So
Remember
to-
I turned this off somewhere.
So like the panning, like trucking kind of tool is Alt on a PC and the right mouse button.
So probably
Control
optional on Mac.
zooms
yeah, yeah.
in and out, and then just the mouse button by itself rotates around. And also up here in the top corner, we've got this handy little like cool low poly dude that as you rotate, you can quickly snap to a specific view. I think that you can also do that by navigating around and holding down Shift, and it'll just move you at little 90-degree increments too.
Okay.
So several ways you could do that.
Now, Hashi, though, how do I save this? What do I save this as?
Good point. So this is our first project. So let's both together go ahead and go to File.
Which is right where you think it's going to be.
Right where you think it's going to be.
Toolbar items in. All right. File.
So yeah, don't save the document. Save this file. And instead of saving it as Dinosphere, I'm going to save it over here in my folder for today. So I'm going to call this one Prompt 1 because we don't know what this is going to be yet.
Yes. Now, Darby, you do not understand. I'm not giving them prompts like this is some sort of AI trash. I am giving them prompts like I'm talking to humans, asking them to make things.
That's kind of
sorry.
weird. And you could be, Michael has the real power here to.
When does he know?
Seth, let me show you one of my other favorite-ish tools that I think will be very helpful for getting started. I think that there are some great, Pixelogic has a ton of content showing how to competently use ZBrush. I really enjoyed a presentation that I was there to see in person by Anna Carolina, who does these amazing sculpts and demonstrations of tools and things like that. And so one thing that I learned from her was the tool called the snake hook is one of my favorites.
Ooh, what's a snake hook do?
So snake hook, once I click on it right here,
Why do I?
and
You should have told me this ahead of the show. I'd have a drop ready.
I sent this all to you in Slack. Sent this all to you in Slack.
Whoa! No, you did not. You sent
Hang
me a
on,
snake
I think-
drop?
Okay, so
I think you need to turn.
hang on. So look what
you need
happened
to turn
there.
Sculptress Pro or Dynamesh or whatever the heck it is on for this tool.
So yeah, when you click on it, it's really likely that it'll say this brush best performs when Sculptress Pro mode is activated. So I'm going to say okay, and Sculptress Pro, this took us half an hour to figure out last show, is this button right here,
Oh.
or the right leaning or left leaning, whatever you want to call it, slash.
Activate Sculptress Pro.
So now
Whoa!
what this will do
For those of you who don't know, what Sculptus Pro does is doesn't just, when you're sculpting, it doesn't just pull the polys that are there. It creates more polys as you go. So it gets you detail while you're sculpting instead of just taking the existing detail and smooshing it around a bit.
Mm-hmm. Hey, remind me when symmetry can get turned off. I can't freaking...
Okay, so symmetry is up here under transform.
Transformers.
And right now, activate symmetry is likely active for you.
Copy. Thank you.
So you can disable it at any point. And one other very quick tip, especially if you're in like sculptress mode or whatever, is if you hold down Shift, you'll notice that your brush up here changes to a smooth brush. And there are various ones there, but when I hold down Shift, it becomes a smooth brush, and I can do this, and you can see that I can like slowly erode away or smooth out the sculpture from there. So you can be adding pieces and then holding down Shift to just kind of smooth them back into a more pleasing
Keeping
shape.
in mind, if you have a Sensi Labs or any other brand of tablet and have pressure and tilt sensitivity, it can affect how all these tools work to give you more control.
I'm hitting my trackpad so hard, nothing's happening. Okay.
Tapping S or right-clicking also brings up all of the properties of whatever brush you're using. So if you wanted to increase the brush size, it's right there. Look.
Tapping S does size.
Okay, yeah. So tapping S is size, and right-clicking will give you all of this other stuff, including like the Z intensity. And then, Seth, if you
are we going to be doing bad accents with today's show?
We're going to try so hard not to.
At least one way every week. What's that?
So up here, between your tools and the document window, there's this cool undo history slider. So if I want, I can click on this and just start dragging through all of the things that I did to this sphere.
That's what this is? Whoa!
And it's not only great as a way to look back at what you did, there are several brushes you can define by comparing history states. So if you're like, I've drawn this little texture on a piece of the material, I want to go like save where it had nothing done to it and save where it had stuff done to it and save that as a texture that I can apply to things. It's very, very cool.
Okay.
And there are much more competent people to teach you all of that lovely stuff. But, I think this is we're at a reasonable place to maybe jump off. I'm going to scroll my undo history back to here and just look head on at this thing.
Well, I'm ready to give you your first prompt if you're ready to go.
What do you think?
Hold on a second. What did I do here? I put a star randomly in this, and I can't get it to go away. Why is there a star there?
That's a good question. For another time.
No! Texture is off. Okay, let's try this. If I go to clay, it's still there. All right, I'm going to try.
Let's see, you are still in edit mode, which is good. I thought that somehow you'd force yourself into...
Go to Lightbox and...
If only we had someone in the chat who could tell us how to use ZBrush.
It's still there on a new document? Oh no, I'm in trouble. Does anyone know why there's a star?
Anyone in the chat?
How to get rid of it?
How does Seth get rid of the star in his little window?
Oh, amazing.
It's bothering him.
I don't feel like I even have noticed that was a space. I wouldn't worry about it. It's not in your actual thing, right?
I don't know. It makes me uncomfortable.
I understand that, but we also have a show to do.
You're right, we do. All right.
Now, for this first prompt, I must warn you, this creature's got a vicious streak a mile wide.
Hold on.
Maybe if you taunt it, you could cause it to make a mistake. Anyway, death awaits you with nasty, big, pointy teeth.
Whoa, hold on. I gotta ready to pull up this thing. So first off, hang on, let me make sure I got these right. Let's get this started.
Prompt-wise, death awaits you.
You'll tell me when
nasty, big, pointy teeth.
Okay.
Yes. It's the rabbit of Caerbannog.
Oh my goodness.
The what?
There you go.
It's the longest prompt Hang on.
Oh, it is not the longest prompt.
Oh my gosh.
Not the longest
This
prompt.
moment
Yes,
in
there you
Monty
go.
Python has one of my favorite deliveries ever where, yeah, just
Okay, so we got to craft this rabbit.
craft this rabbit. Now, is it like, it's up to our own
Yes.
artistic interpretation of this rabbit, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, great.
So this is an image of the rabbit from the film, but if you feel like interpreting the rabbit with slightly pointier teeth, feel free to go ahead.
Excellent. We're going to go full Bunnicula on us.
You make this. This is the rabbit of Caerbannog. So do what you will to interpret it as your prompt.
Real quick, Michael, are all of your prompts that long?
Text wise?
Yeah.
No, but most of them have
Is
some
one
length
like
to them.
horse?
Yeah, because none of them are one word.
Yeah.
They're all something.
Yeah,
with some,
do me
they're all
a quick
roughly
favor,
that
if you
length.
would. Open that text document real quick and just hit enter before from,
Jiminy crapness. Okay, hang on.
so I can just so I can we re-reference it and people want to see it, know what it is.
There.
Just
Is that
say-
better?
Okay, now
Yeah.
that's a little better. Okay,
Okay.
all right.
Excellent.
Okay,
All
we
right.
ready? I'll hit the
So
timer
we're
if
going to have a
ready.
timer, and then we're both going to work off of that. We're starting with a 20-minute, and then we'll get increasingly shorter.
Sure. If we have, do we have 20 minutes left in the show? I feel like we took a while. to get
You've
set
got.
up.
You're good. Let's go.
Okay.
We do.
All right.
20-minute timer. Let's go.
20. Okay.
Oh no, it's symmetry's
Fun.
back on.
Fun.
No, you want the symmetry
Symmetry's
on. You want the
fine.
symmetry on.
Fine, I want symmetry on. I have it on.
Unless you're doing like the pose in like, if you're doing a sculpt to be animated, you definitely want the symmetry on for while you're getting the basic shapes of the thing set out. The only time in this case of a creature design you'd want to turn the symmetry off would be when you're putting in the final details at the end to make it look realistic. When you're first getting the basic shape of a creature done, you pretty much want, because most creatures are symmetrical, generally speaking. Marley, how long does a show normally run? Usually the show goes on for 2 hours. And usually it's Hashi and Seth pulling apart Hollywood visual effects and trying to put them back together again. But today we are doing a special ZBrush episode where they're sculpting in ZBrush and in a timer. Mr. J, the goal
Actually, you
is
piece
for
of
them
crap.
to
You're
get
so good at this.
Mr. J. The goal is for them to get something designed in ZBrush quickly, matching the prompt. In this case, we are doing the Rabbit of Caerbannog from Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Oops.
For this first prompt, I've got several more prompts ready to go once they finish with this one.
Boy.
And yes, Seth is correct. Hashi is off to a pretty decent start with there is least recognizably a rabbit on the screen.
I keep forgetting
The
what
proportions of the
shortcuts
rear
are.
legs are somewhat off.
Oh, so you can use to tap through your brushes. You can press B, and then from there you could usually type the first letter of whatever you're looking for. So if you're looking for like the move brush, it's likely M, and then it'll bring up all the ones with M. Whoops. And then you'll see which one is move. It's E. So if you type BME, it'll do that. And you can cycle through some of your favorites. Also, when you
Seth has
click on
got a great
brushes,
slug going
the ones that you've recently used will
It's
be right
exactly-
here.
It's a slug. That's 100% what it is.
Oh, I'm so
Oh,
excited.
man.
Marley One Love says, "Hey, they've watched the show a few times after it's been aired. This is their first time showing up live." Hey, Marley, the great thing about showing up live is you get to ask questions and they get to be answered on the stream. But yes, normally this is a VFX show, but this episode they've
What about
decided
this?
It's all about the
VFX.
art.
All right, so that's the snake hole lounge tool.
Let's see.
Now, what if I want to?
Mr. J is asking, are they beginners? In ZBrush, yes. And that's the fun of this particular episode, is that Hashi and Seth have barely touched ZBrush before, and they're the kind of exploring it for the first time today, which is going to be fun. They are both experts at Hollywood-level visual effects. Hashi has done work for Disney and DreamWorks, and Seth has done a bunch of work for films, feature and short. They're experts in After Effects. And burgeoning,
including a major release directorial debut coming up. So
yes,
ridiculous.
They're not beginners in visual effects, but they're very much beginners in ZBrush. This is the chill part of the show, as Michael Powlek says, not the VFX part. Yes, this episode is very much a chill with a timer set on a batch of dynamite. Apparently,
yeah, it is. I should have made some music,
Oh yeah, we need some lo-fi chill. Music?
Yeah. Oh, Hashi, you've got some actual rabbit ears going on. Where Seth had dual horns from a jackalope.
You monster! All right.
It's virtual clay, baby.
Seth, you're just redoing your slug antenna over and over.
Yeah, I am. You got a problem with that? What word am I looking for?
Dope Boy is asking, is there a way to solo a subtool while keeping the other subtool's wireframe or transparent shape visible?
I was going to say, is there a way to solo one of these guys and not the other guy?
Dope Boy, let me explain something to you. We don't know. That is a question for a real ZBrush.
Okay, wait, what? So what was the question again?
That was the best thing I've ever heard.
Is there a way to solo?
Is there a way to solo a subtool while keeping the other subtool's wireframe or transparent shapes visible?
Oh, well, what we're likely talking about is over here. This is to the best of my knowledge, is there is a subtool menu. I realize that I'm a little cut off. I'm going to try to drag that in more. If you click on this subtool, it's sort of like the layers of your composition. So, for example, I have just the rabbit tool now. And if I wanted to, I could click append and add a star to mark Seth. Let me move this star right here. So I do know that over here, I can click between the different tools. So if I click on the rabbit, I'm just editing the rabbit now. If I click over to one of the tools, and I can see this one, but if I click on it and use the brush, it's doing nothing. It's trying to just affect the rabbit. So that's sort of what you're saying. The other thing you can do over here is you can solo different things. So if I'm on the rabbit tool, I can just have it visible, or I can make this tool visible with this little eye right here. That's the most help I can be on that. I'm going to delete this star now, which is not undoable. So now I want to start getting into, it's really hard to not, many of our awesome ZBrush trainers talk about the idea that it's better to try to work low, with low poly stuff until you get your actual silhouette worked out.
That's never going to happen.
Okay, so
Out Jogging Pictures is asking, are there ZBrush templates, or do you have to start from scratch every time?
Oh, there are some wonderful templates that are available here in the Lightbox. You could start with a demo head, or a humanoid figure, or this dog, or any of these other sampler projects, and then a variety of primitives and stuff, and you can bring them all in to serve as the base to get yourself started.
What's happening? Why am I getting a? Okay. How do I twist? I want to twist these rabbit ears to where they're more outward.
Twist. Okay. Okay. Let me show you. To twist just the ear. This was one thing that I didn't know about.
One of those athletes that stops before getting to the finish line and turns and helps the fallen player up and walks them to the finish line. Continue. Sorry, bud.
So over here in this list right here, there is a section called deformation.
Yes, there is. It is in alphabetical order, thankfully.
What's kind of fun is that this has watch. You can bend. Look at this. I can bend my
Whoa.
rabbit into itself. Look, that's some like 3 body problem stuff right there. And
So cool.
you can skew. And then there's also a twist, but you likely don't want to like
The
twist
whole
your
model,
whole
yeah.
rabbit,
Right.
right?
I did it.
You did it.
No, I didn't.
So over here, when you're next to your rabbit, you can paint just the ears by holding down the control button and then painting just the ears. Okay.
Okay.
So now that I've painted them, that means that they are frozen and it'll only affect everything else. But if I go out to the side here and hold down I keep holding down Control and I click in the blank space, it'll flip the mask to either be just the ears or just the body.
Okay.
So if I make it so it's just the ears, then I could go to my twist, and the twist thing is just affecting that. And I think that now I'm out of my depth, but I think that technically
What's going on?
there are, there's a way to use one of these like transpose kind of brushes allows you to define the like set an anchor point around which you're rotating it. I don't know more than that.
That's okay. Thank you.
The way to get rid of your mask the most quickly is to press Control and do like a drag, like a rectangle over in a blank
I've been
area.
doing that by accident.
Yep, I think that's how that gets discovered.
Why does my brush, this window, keep disappearing? Like I'll hit the brush window, go to find something, and it'll go away.
That I don't know.
That's okay.
I'm sure so many things are customizable in ZBrush. There's got to be a good way to actually.
10 minutes left, gentlemen.
10 minutes left. Okay.
Now, Perry Taylor says that ZBrush, they're sure that has benefits, but to a beginner, it's a very daunting program to tackle. Yes, that's why we have some lovely tutorials for getting started in ZBrush over on Cineversity. If you go to maxon.net, there's a whole learning section there, and you can get started with ZBrush. I believe Anna Carolina's got a nice series going on. She's an amazing ZBrush artist and an amazing trainer. She does a great job at explaining how things are working in the program. So I would highly recommend that.
Truly amazing stuff.
I kind of want to leave this as my potato rabbit. I feel like
I feel like it's more threatening somehow.
You've got 10 minutes left. I think your ears are good for your current spot. You need to starting working on the rest, and you think you've got a good go.
Oh, thanks, Mike.
Okay, there must be a better way to do what I'm trying to do.
And Seth, I agree with you that music might be a good choice at some point in the future.
I only have.
Don't worry about it now, but in like 8 minutes when you're done with this sculpt, while I'm chatting about the next next one.
All I have is the pre-show music. I can just slow.
Yeah, that's not. We can't have that over and over again. That would be too much.
I'll just.
We can sing our own music.
Nope. Here we go.
Don't know where I'm headed now.
This is a track that I made because I uploaded these tracks to Spotify and Apple Music and then was told, no, they don't. They're not long enough.
We don't want them.
Well, technically, they said, like, they're not long enough. We don't want them. And
What?
And so I had to make one track that was really long to make the average track length better. Actually, I'm not.
Oh, they average track. That's too much. Too much to think about.
Yeah, it is. I'm trying to find some royalty-free music I can play. Oh, I have our music.
Oh my gosh. Oh, where's the timer? 7-ish minutes.
I'll play
gosh.
some of my siblings' music back swirly. We'll go to the 1980 synth pack, which you can listen to on Spotify. And I'll
love it.
Hit play.
Nick Smith says that they are just imagining the Wii lobby music on loop.
Oh, that would be pretty good.
Marley One Love asks, is Maxon making any tools for audio editing? No. Maxon makes some great tools for color grading, some amazing add-ons for editing, a bunch of tools for motion graphics in After Effects, and of course there's Cinema 4D for 3D motion graphics, and some visual effects stuff. A lot of good visual effects tools as well for After Effects, but no, for audio editing, there's nothing. Sorry.
This music is so... like... I feel so inspired to make this rabbit now.
Speaking of which, like if you want to feel inspired and are working in ZBrush, you can log into ZBrush Central, which it has a really cool feature that you can just kind of press play and it'll just show you a feed of really awesome work by like good artists. And it's pretty cool. So, for example, look at this. You can just pull up this feed. Hey, I recognize that human. That's Paul Gabry.
Hey.
The link.
Look at this.
The link is in the
play
chat
and
if
then
you don't know how to type in ZBrush Central.
Then just like put on your speed controller or whatever, and it'll show you some amazing, really good inspirational work being done by people who have achieved a level of skill that you don't need to be intimidated by. Instead, you could know that it's achievable eventually with just like 20 years of experience. And
Frigby, I see your comment, and it's very funny. You don't know why it's funny, but I have something prepared that will make that will This is Hashi's prepared for a future prompt. That's all I'm going to say about that.
How do I?
Oh boy.
How do I cut into trim into this? And trim is not doing what I want. If I want to cut eyes into this
any
thing.
tool you can hold down Alt. And it'll do the opposite of what it's used to doing. But for carving and cutting into something to make shapes, I would recommend the Damien Standard brush.
Oh, naturally. That's what I should have typed in. Damien Standard.
Damien Standard.
Jesus. Okay, there we go. Hashi, anytime you need to see the prompt again, I can pull it up. And I forgot I put smoke behind it. So with this music, this is just... now I got the moodiest episode going.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing.
Tattoon is asking, do you recommend any challenges to participate with ZBrush and Cinema? There are so many out there. A very popular one with Cinema 4D is just doing daily challenges, like just challenge yourself to make a piece of art every day with it, and you can use that as a way to build your skills. So if there's a particular area you want to build your skills in, like making materials or playing with cloners or MoGraph tools or whatnot, you can start off your daily work with working with that particular tool. For the same thing with the case of ZBrush, just find some sort of thing that you want to be learning about and base all your learning on, base your daily art on that particular tool. Of course, ZBrush community is a very vibrant one, and there are I know there's several different places that are doing ZBrush challenges every week that you can jump into. Michael Powlak, by the way, Seth, to your thing, says the yellow orange star behind your thumbnail, right click in the thumb, it's a texture.
What?
Right click in your thumbnail, it's a texture. You can take that off. There you go.
Incredible. Thank you, Michael Powlak.
Thank
for
you.
Everything.
But especially this one thing. Gentlemen, you have 2.5 minutes left in your sculpt. Your sculpt of the
It's slowly turning into a frog.
Caerbannog.
What keeps happening? Slowly turning into a frog. I've got a...
Okay.
Yeah, Hashi, your rabbit has become slightly frog-like. Any White Black says with this music, they feel like they're watching an episode of Stranger Things while literally watching you both make some strange.
The strangest of things.
Well, this was
It was totally intentional.
this music pack was created to capitalize off the success of Stranger Things back in 2016 or 17. This is my sibling Bex Worley made this stock music pack, and you can now just listen to it if you want. The way we came up with this was I produced it.
It was like, hey, you got anything that could capitalize on the success of Stranger Things?
Yeah, I took I found a bunch of 80s movie posters for movies that neither Bex nor I had seen. And I made up plots like a log line based on what it looked like the movie was about, based on the poster. And then Bex wrote themes to those movies. And that's what all these
love that.
That's amazing.
Thanks. It was fun.
You have 1 minute and 5 seconds left.
Don't need
Oh,
it.
jeez. Okay. Oh man, that music is great for the calming factor of all this. Woo! Okay.
Perfect feat. Incredible, Seth. You did it. These don't look like feet at all.
But Freeway Chillweather certainly thinks that you're making a great bet. 15 seconds. Justin Leduc is enjoying the Frobbit that is happening over on Hashi's side. Oh, here we go. 5.
All right. Where'd we land?
Well,
We have a little before
certainly-
and after sitch going on.
Hashi certainly looks like death awaiting you with nasty, big, pointy teeth. And
See, yeah,
as Justin Leduc says, Seth just spent the last 15 minutes trying to not make a potato.
And can I tell you? I failed.
And very nearly succeeded, everyone.
Yeah, very nearly. I'm not gonna lie. I'm proud of this. I
love
love
it.
myself. Hashi, yours is
it's-
incredible.
Mine's in that perfect valley where it's like better than nothing, but not good enough to be anything.
The Hashi and Seth story.
The Hashi and Seth. Ooh, look at this texture. Just because of the polys actually gives it this scaly.
Hey,
texture up close.
save your scales for a potential future prompt.
Oh boy.
There's been several hints of future prompts coming in from the chat and from you.
Oh,
No, I'm liking this. Both of you have very different takes on the idea of a rabbit.
On the idea of good. All right,
So I'm going to go up here and say file save.
which I did.
One interesting thing to note is you can choose whether it is saving the undo history along with your project. If it's a very serious project, you should definitely keep your undo history, but it will make your file size bigger because it's like literally the whole thing.
I don't need it.
So you can.
That whole idea just still is fantastic to me.
Yeah.
I love that.
So you can turn it off, you can leave it, whatever. But oh yeah, look, we can do our time lapses, Seth.
That's so
Sphere.
cool.
I forgot I undid this part at the end.
Man, like I was headed toward like a reasonable like jackalope thing, and then I decided to go all frog.
Now, Perry Taylor says that Seth forgot the teeth, but if you recall from the prompt, there's not much teeth visible.
Sorry, I was not going
no.
with memory. I was going based on the picture.
And it barely has teeth in the film. They're just spoken about by Tim the Enchanter, and we barely see
I
them.
remember
the
that
Enchanter.
they built like a hand puppet that it was this thing. And I
Yes,
think it's actually more like the whole body like opens into like teeth.
The Rabbit of Caerbannog was played by both a real rabbit and a hand puppet. But again, it barely had teeth. It looked like fairly realistically rabbit. It was just a vicious streak a mile wide in a otherwise or normal rabbit.
I feel like it was one of the first times Monty Python is major, right? Yeah, like major movie came out that used the trope of something innocent being horrifically violent.
I love that you just have Jack Black showing up halfway across your screen.
Oh yeah,
right
y'all can't see, but over here on this side of my screen, I just have like Jack Black's head by Parth Shah.
Speaking of, are you ready for the next prompt?
I believe I am.
What?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
He loves noodles. He loves dumplings. He even finished off a whole basket of radishes as a baby. Formerly Lotus. This is Master Po Ping, but you can call him Po.
Oh, dang.
I think you don't need a very long timer for this. He's full of round shapes. You should be able to get
this is going
one.
back to your...
Hashi did work on this movie, you all.
I did work on this movie, so
but not in the 3D world.
Not to be confused with any...
Hashi
why
worked
can't I
on
get
the-
to my...
So show us how you invented Kung Fu Panda.
How I invented Kung Fu Panda?
Did I tell you about the lunch I had with someone? I won't say who they are on mic. Who told me I've had two different general meetings with two different people who each told me they created Kung Fu Panda. I don't think I've ever actually tried to reconcile it with you to see who you think is more correct.
Yeah, it's a confusing one because there's many people contributed to making Kung Fu Panda, and I know that there was like a coloring book or something like that had a really similar story or something that
I didn't meet with any
many years
coloring
later
books.
was like challenged the whole premise. But really, like I just remember the general vibe was like, can you imagine if Jack Black was a panda learning to do kung fu like that? It was literally just pitched as that. So like the
what you're
whole
saying
premise,
is
like
Jeffrey Katzenberg
hung on like, can we get Jack Black? Because he would be hilarious as like a panda who couldn't do kung fu.
The truth is, that is literally what you need. That right there is greenlit immediately. It's like the perfect log line. Okay, sorry, Master Po. Real quick, I saved this. Now, what's the right way to go about starting a new one?
You can go up and say new document, or you can load up one of these other templates and say, like you can load the Manosphere again, and then just save it as a new file. So I'll save this as, not save next.
Do we want to make it a rule that we start with a sphere each time?
I think that's a good way to do it because then we can kind of like see that cool.
I will tell you from the prompts that I have planned, starting from a sphere will work for all of them.
Terrific.
Prompt 2. Okay.
That was on purpose on my part.
What is our timer going to be here?
I think you can do a short one for this one.
10 minutes? Oh yeah, easy. Okay.
Easy. No problem. Character design is easy, everybody.
All right.
This specific design was designed by Nico Marley, a really awesome artist.
Michael, tell me when to hit the timer.
Go for it. But you probably want to clear the prompt off the screen so we can see what you're doing.
Right.
Oh boy.
Now, as you begin starting on your pandas, Marley One Love says,
Star Wars.
once you make a model in ZBrush, does it import directly into Cinema 4D easily?
Oh man, we'll have to show you that.
Sensual Star Wars.
Yes, out jogging. We will discuss taking it into Cinema 4D in a little bit once they finish their sculpt.
Star Wars.
Frigby is wondering which one of your sculpts will look more like Poe from the Teletubbies. Well, so far, both.
When you watch a movie on your television screen, you're not seeing it the way it was originally intended.
Marley One Love is asking, these ZBrush sculptures don't have polygons once they're saved, right? No, they do. They're all like most 3D things are based on polygons.
It's
Yeah.
You just have control later over how many polygons there are.
Watch a movie on your television screen.
So in the deformation tools, like this was not working out great, but there's an inflate
Yes, I've been using it.
deformer, which is lovely. There's also like thick skin is similar.
Making beats.
Okay.
For that
I mean, Poe
horse for your
famously
eyes.
does have thick skin.
Oh, look, I can make him into that training dummy. Oh.
Black Pinterest asks, what's the worst part of creating a character, animating, sculpting, or the thinking process? Well, you're not talking to a couple of character animators today, so that's probably a better question for one of the ZBrush live episodes. Ian Robinson does some great work, as well as a lot of the other ZBrush artists. So if you're interested in that, I would suggest you subscribe to the ZBrush YouTube channel and hit the bell so you know when they're live, and you can talk to some amazing character artists that show up on ZBrush live sculpts.
Yeah, Pixelogic has specifically been doing awesome live streams and has great live stream support and building an online community. The ZBrush way longer than we have.
You've got 7.5 minutes left, and so far, you both have recognizably bearish shapes. I will say Seth's definitely looks more overweight. Hashi's definitely looks more like a bear. So it's neck and neck, I would say. Outjunking Picture says, does this have layers? Like you would sculpt clothes into the model or clothes go on another layer? Do you have layers when you sculpt in ZBrush? I know you do in Cinema 4D.
You don't have layers. You have these things called subtools. So we've been talking about them a little bit, but if I click right here, I have a subtool, and I'm just modifying this one sphere right now to sort of try to make it into a panda-ish shape. And if I decide to go and add additional props, then I can do that too. So
basically, yes, but by another name. They smell just as sweet.
By another name.
Oh, Hashi, your ears are already looking great. Holy cow, that was fast.
I don't remember what
they went from blobs to ears like really fast.
Ears look like though. I feel like they're higher.
He needs to see the prompt.
There you go.
Oh yeah, they're tiny and up here, huh?
Thank you. Perry Taylor is saying that this one is starting off great. I agree, Perry. They're going great. They've got 6 minutes left and already very recognizably bears for both of you. Amazing.
Very recognizably bears is the name of my new project.
That would be a fantastic little band or something.
Very recognizable.
Very recognizably bears. I feel would be a very camp act starring some large gay men. Dances for Peace says animating characters is easy. Animating them well is hard.
Oh,
but
sculpting
a character that can be animated well is even harder. And Marley One Love says they subscribed to ZBrush and turned on the bell. Hey, while you're at it, whatever channel you all are watching on, feel free to subscribe and hit the bell on this one as well, especially if you're interested in visual effects and motion graphics. Red Giant creates a ton of tools to help your motion graphics and visual effects work better. So if you're on the Red Giant channel, this would be a great channel to subscribe to, because often the tips that come out on here are useful for other things. Hashi has a great series called Cheap Tricks, where he breaks down a lot of stuff in just After Effects without you having to even worry about any plugins or stuff. I especially enjoyed his Captain Marvel episode for really breaking down how the fractal noise effect can be useful for so many different things. So I would highly recommend checking that out. The link for that is in the chat. And if you're on the Maxon channel, also a good place to go. Cinema 4D is the industry standard motion graphics tool for making 3D motion graphics. And they put out handy little quick tips all the time there. And if you're on the Maxon Training YouTube channel, that's the place for all the quick tips to go. They're coming out quite a bit of frequency. All right, gentlemen, you have 4 minutes left. I am enjoying the belly you got set. And also on your bear.
How dare you?
Frisbee Chill Weather says y'all have done the bare minimum so far. I disagree. I think your bears are getting pretty maximum.
The story of this song is that it just ended.
Gosh, heard.
Now, Black Panther says, y'all are amazing at sculpting. This would take them hours. What's the best way for beginner sculpt to make a property work? Black Panther, these folks are beginners. Seriously, the best way to begin is to just start. Like, just start playing with it. That's one of the big differences here, is that they were not afraid to just jump in and start fussing with it. You're not going to break ZBrush. Like, just fussing around the tools. You're not going to make it. You're not going to make your computer die. Just start playing around. Just have fun with it. Once you're not going to make money or make a profit from your work as a beginner sculptor, most likely. But what you will do is have fun, be creative, and eventually you will build a skill set that can be used to be profitable later. And Dancing P says that Seth looks like Cookie Monster. Not anymore. Since you've made the comment, Seth has carried on going.
Now it's a Teddy Graham that's come alive in your nightmares.
Harry Taylor says they never heard of the Red Giant channel before, but very excited to dive into it. Yes, Red Giant has been around for quite a long time, making tools. Red Giant started as filmmakers wanting to make themselves tools to get their films working better. Started out with Magic Bullet, was one of the earliest tool sets, Magic Bullet, for doing some better color grading and film emulation tools, and that's where Red Giant started. One of my favorite tools is Magic Bullet Looks from Red Giant. I use it a lot for film emulation, especially halation and re-noiser, which is very realistic film grain simulation. But Red Giant also makes the famous Trapcode suite for After Effects, which is the industry standard particle simulation tool. Also Universe for editors, works in Premiere Pro and Final Cut Pro, Avid Media Composer, DaVinci Resolve, bringing better tools for editors. And as the VFX suite, which has Primat Keyer and one of my favorite tools called SuperComp. Very good for doing visual effects stuff.
Oh, I love the wireframe song.
You've got a minute and 40 seconds.
Oh, what have I done to your face? I'm so sorry.
God, to me.
Ah! When did I do that? This is an ILM artist from.
We realized you could use a
1 minute.
visual. You could use a visual.
Independence Day, and it reminds me of Jonas a little bit.
Paradigm shift. Paradigm shift.
Now it's you saying paradigm shift.
Paradigm shift. Paradigm.
As I often do, I'm always like, it's a paradigm shift, and you're like,
40 seconds, folks.
Not a species of bird. None of these are paradigm shifts.
It's kind of like a paradigm shift when we realized it's not just you could use it. Paradigm.
Michael Powlick wants your bear to be dodging Kylo Ren's blaster, Seth.
Paradigm shift.
And it will be. One day.
15 seconds. Hashi, your proportions are looking pretty close, buddy.
I'm focusing too much on proportions and not enough on overall read.
Time is up. Put your trackpads down.
Okay.
We did it.
All right.
Look at that.
Hashi,
Look
that's
at
pretty
that.
freaking great, dude.
That's really good.
I really love ours next to each other a lot.
Seth,
fantastic.
yours looks like something I would like that I could genuinely sculpt out of clay. Like that's pretty good.
Mine looks like, a kid. Yes, 100%.
Hey, real quick before we go to the next thing, Marley One Love is saying, in your experience, have you found many visual effects artists who don't have a college degree, just good experience and a good skill set? Hashi, what do you say?
I would say
Almost all. Oh, Hashi.
yeah. It is, yeah. For me, it seems like the hiring was always based on reels and projects that they had worked on, as opposed to any specific degree. And the only time we were ever looking at degrees to hire artists was sort of to see if they had worked at all in a professional capacity and like where they were able to receive feedback. Like that's the most. That was the most that we were actually looking at the education part for.
Well, I will say, a lot of the a lot of people I know, the way they got in was because they got in through connections they made at school. If they got
that is a good point. Especially, for visual artists, if you're talking about, a lot of that was like the school they went to, and like a bunch of students would like come up together in it. For visual effects broadly, I have no idea now.
I feel like most people I've met in visual effects who actually work in it went to school somewhere. But whether that's causation versus correlation, I don't know.
Hashi, real quick, before we go on to our next, the next prompt and the next sculpt, can you show the folks who are asking how to get a sculpt from ZBrush into, say, Cinema 4D?
So yeah, if you have ZBrush open, you have your project like this, it's a multi-stage process. First of all, you locate this button that says Go Z, and then you click the button that says Go Z, and if you... And now I have...
and now it's in Cinema 4D.
And now it's in Cinema 4D.
Very complicated process. One button. Ta-da!
So now...
I feel like we should, next week, take these and animate these models we make this week, animate them and integrate them into... Like, we should replace Poe in a scene from Kung Fu Panda with our pose. And
I feel like that
Monty
is
Python,
a phenomenal idea.
Etc. That's probably what we'll do next week, everybody. So if you want to see bringing this into cinema and animating and everything and rigging it, tune in next week. I'm going to go ahead and say that's what we're doing next week.
No, real quick.
That. We're going to bring these to life.
If your sculpt that you've got here is both of you, if both of your sculpts are sipping on a steeped beverage, would you call that a tea pose?
Michael, we talked about this.
Damn it, Michael.
It's stupid. All of it.
So there you go. It's one button. You launch the Go Z, and it just sends your sculpt from ZBrush right into Cinema 4D. Now, once you have a full complex sculpt in ZBrush, you may want to take some steps to decimate it, some lower the poly count, etc., before you send it off to Cinema 4D. But maybe not. Maybe you want it with its full details. It's kind of up to you. The Z remesher from ZBrush is available in Cinema 4D. So if you're working on it and you need a different polygon flow, it's very easy to get that same sort of delightful automatic polygon flow in Cinema 4D just as well as you can in ZBrush. I've got another prompt ready to go for the two of you. Right. Whenever you're ready.
I've got I've saved it. I'm good to go when you are.
Saved it. Nice. I should be ready in just a second here. Why can't I see all of my... Okay, I am pretty much ready as well. I'll save this one as prompt 3.
All right, this next creature was so fearsome and violent, it caused the Motion Picture Association of America to invent the PG-13 rating, which it brought out just 2 months after this film's release. It's everyone's favorite murderous gremlin. It's Stripe.
Ooh, Stripe.
Get it? Gremlin, because Stripe, because line.
I'm angry that I have to do a Gremlins one, but that's not this show. That's another show.
It's because Gremlins is Seth's favorite IP, and just it's very sad, depending on how faithful the representation is of...
You died on a Saturday morning.
All right, Gremlins. All right, how many minutes are we giving the Gremlins?
I think this one could use...
Sorry,
I think you could get a good gremlin head in 10 minutes. Plus, I don't want you to miss out on the next prompt that I have to go. So I figure going in too much longer would make you not be able to do the next prompt I have.
10 minutes it is.
10 minutes. All right.
All right, so I'm going to make what I think. Actually, I will say, I do think Gremlins is a terrible movie. Not terrible. It's just, I don't like Gremlins at all. But the character design, flawless. Big fan of the design behind Gremlins.
That's a pretty hot take, folks. If you have any alternative opinions, feel free to comment them in the chat.
Gremlins is not a good movie, guys. You remember it as good, but it's not. It's not.
Just lies. Your body tells
it. It has very cool things about it. I'm a big Joe Dante fan. Just do not like Gremlins. Or the Goonies. Come at me.
Ooh, man, just coming in here with the...
Basically, movies
Don't
with
watch
G.
these movies as adults.
Gremlins, Goonies.
Like, don't watch
anything
them
with
for
G,
the 1st
don't
time
watch.
as adults. They will not.
For the first time, yeah.
Let's see.
Goonies is good to watch for the first time as a kid. If you got kids, play Goonies for them, but don't watch it yourself.
Also, don't watch Gremlins with your kid if your kid's still...
Yeah, please don't. Yeah.
Oh, don't watch Gremlins with your kids.
Just don't watch it with your kids.
Yeah,
No,
don't
that's
watch
a terrible
anything with
choice.
your kids. Dear God, don't spend time with your children.
Well, Hashi's already got a body.
And does he?
Heck yeah.
HR. Complaints. Actually, Hashi, if you haven't called HR on me by now, I think I'm
Speaking of HR, Michael Powlek, I appreciate the joke you've made, but I am not putting it up on the screen.
Where? We're done. Move.
By the way, you don't have to select the right mouse. You can just click in the gray area and drag, and that rotates. And holding Alt and clicking the gray area. That's huge for me because on a trackpad, right click is 2 fingers. And I don't want to do that anymore. You're doing the whole body?
I don't know why. I don't know.
Overachiever, man.
I've ended up here. I'm not going to finish this. I'm not going to get to the head even.
Speaking of the Gremlins, and I would say, Hashi, the head is a fairly important part of a Gremlin. I would move on to the head sooner rather than later. Speaking of the Gremlins, if you have ever been interested in E.T. and Gremlins... If you've ever been interested in E.T. and Gremlins crossover, there is an R-rated trailer for the E.T. Gremlins crossover. Linked
Again,
in the chat.
don't show
off your
after this stream. Definitely watch that with your childhood.
I'm making a pig.
Yeah, I was about to say, Seth, like literally that it's a pig.
Literally, you're a pig.
You should see me eat it. That is not a lie. Oh, hey, also, hey, folks in the chat, is the music to voice volume ratio good for you? Question mark.
Today we have a really decent show with some really neat surprises as well as the usual stuff.
All right, Stripe. His ears are very big in proportion to his head. Hashi, holy crap!
That stupid idiot. I hate him.
It's so good.
I hate him and I love him.
Justin,
I'm just dialed in. It turns out I can't talk over what I'm doing in ZBrush.
Justin Leduc says the music could be a little lower.
World, Hosh.
Seth, if you could turn the music just a little bit lower, the chat would appreciate it.
Okay.
A little bit, not a lot of it.
They would never say anything until you asked, so.
Oh, yeah, only one person. Justin Leduc, though, says...
care about what our viewers think, is it?
Justin says Seth's breathing sounds could be a little louder.
Get out of here.
Have any of you ever met Justin Leduc in real life, or are they just
Or
being...
is he just like this? Sorry, Justin.
Like, Justin's razzing like they know us.
And it started from seemingly day one. I lost it. I completely lost this character.
Oh, no, hang on. Well, the ears are looking good. Hashi, holy crap. But there is 5 minutes left.
Do not include your, like, your interjections about Hashi while giving me tips. It throws me off.
Sorry, you're starting to get to a recognizable silhouette if you keep going.
I did not. Oh, God. I made Shrek. Shoot.
That's what the whole DreamWorks studio said when it came out. It was like, what?
Oh God, I made Shrek. Oh God, we made the movie Shrek.
Just woke up and I'm like, wait, what was that? What did we last night?
If you have longer songs that you can
Speaking of Shrek, by the way, folks in the chat, if you are fairly new to VFX and Chill, there's a link that has just dropped in the chat that has Shrek on fire. It's a VFX and Chill episode where Hashi and Seth basically set fire to things, playing with a new pyro fire simulation in Cinema 4D, and making Shrek dance around the screen with fire coming out of his antenna ear things is so amazing. Like, I can't even describe how much fun was had in that episode. So I would highly recommend checking out that one once this stream is done. You've got a few links to go look at. Here's yet another one. 3.5 minutes are remaining.
3.5 minutes remaining. Can you put the
how much
image,
junk are you gonna put in that trunk? Oh, there you go. There's his head.
Okay. Jeez Louise. Okay.
Now, I would say I wouldn't do the hair in ZBrush. I would say just get the head shape roughly right, and later, maybe next week, we can pop the hair on in Cinema 4D, because Cinema 4D has, despite its age, still a fairly decent hair system, and it renders seamlessly in ZBrush, which is lovely. Or Redshift. What did I say? Anyway, renders in Redshift. It's lovely. It's hair. Fantastic.
It's hair.
Nick Smith is asking, are we sure Hashi's a beginner? Hashi has a different level of skill. Just some people are just, you know how someone can pick up a guitar, they can pick up a flute, they can pick up anything musical and make good music out of it. Hashi is something like that with digital art. Michael Palak is pointing out that Hashi's gremlin is definitely in a twerking pose.
Oh wait, if you don't think we're gonna not animate that, how many negatives did I have in that sentence? If you don't think that we're not gonna animate that next week, you would be wrong.
Aerospacenews.com is asking, is there any chance Trapcode will be coming to Unreal Engine host application? That's a good question.
Ooh, that's a good question.
I don't know. I know you can make particles in Cinema 4D that go over into Unreal pretty easily. I have not checked with Trapcode. See, the problem with Trapcode is that getting the data from it into something that Unreal would recognize is a little trickier than getting it out of Cinema 4D. A better question would be, is Cinema 4D going to get a better particle system anytime soon? And I will answer that question for you maybe sometime in the future. But I will ask the Trapcode folks about that. It would be good for them to know that people are asking about that. So I'll pass that on to the Trapcode folks.
It's working gremlin, it really is.
Well, I've got to do our famous. Let's see. Yeah.
And we got the new thumbnail. I was wondering how we were gonna put that into the thumbnail this week. I made the thing from Neverending Story, the dog.
Well, you've got a minute left to turn it into something else. But you definitely have.
Okay, here's what has to happen.
See, what I'm doing right now is I'm opening up VFX and Chill to a whole new demo.
You got 30 seconds. Michael Powlex thinks that yours is a Pokemogwai. And Happy New Year to you too, aerospacenews.com.
Thank you, Aerospace News.
.com.
.com.
It's .net. 10 seconds. Finish your sculpts.
What do I want? I want a small one of these.
All right.
Yeah.
We did it.
We did it.
That was the prompt.
What I love is that this is not that unusual in the realm of like Gremlins canon. Like the fact that this is not in Gremlins 2 is probably only running time concern.
Yep.
That is like almost recognizably a gremlin, Hashi.
Let's see. Do we have a?
Hey, you can't
While
keep
you're
working.
He's just going through the undo stack. Yes, Arrow. There is another Red Giant tool available in Unreal Engine. You can get Magic Bullet looks in there. You can actually set a volume in an Unreal scene that has Magic Bullet looks in it. So you could be like running through and like go underwater, and then suddenly it's got a cool cinematic color grade with Magic Bullet looks. Fantastic.
I was so much closer to the ears right at the beginning. And then
Yeah, see, that's the best part about the undo history.
Yeah. Well, all right.
Justin Leduc wants to know which Kardashian is the one on the left.
Stripe Kardashian. Gizmo Kardashian. All right.
I always think.
I think if we do one 20-minute timer and one 10-minute timer, we might be able to get 2 more prompts in today.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So get yourselves
like whale tail feet.
Get yourselves
like
a new
half chicken, half whale tail.
Those feet look like what happens when I try to do one of those brand new AI prompting 3D model creation things. That works so awesome.
That's an abomination. Like that shouldn't be alive, is what that is.
It shouldn't.
All right, get yourself a new document, Hashi.
Gosh.
Save as...
This show is so great. Tell me this feeling lasts till forever. Tell me the bad times are clean washed away. Please understand that it's still strange and frightening. For losers like I've been, it's so hard to say. Suddenly see more. It's time to sculpt Audrey II. It's time to sculpt Audrey II.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. It's got a face. It's got teeth. It's got vines everywhere. I'm thinking snake hook galore with Sculptus Pro turned on.
Before we get going, I gotta ask: is it possible to bring in another primitive into this file? Like I start with a sphere, but is it possible to bring in like a cylinder at the bottom?
Yeah. So the way you would do that is you go over here where it says Subtool and click on the Subtool menu. It's sort of right under your...
You went behind mine, buddy.
Oh, I'm behind the screen. There we go. So right here under where these recently used tools are is Subtool. And then you will see a little like layer stack of sorts. Okay. So not where you're clicking. Like this will be your base to start with.
Subtool.
But then
nailed it.
Subtool, and now you go down here and say append. The classic word for adding something on to something else.
Okay.
And then you'll select what you want. Now you have that. And now you have to make sure that layer is selected. Right now, I think your circle still is. So now that's selected, and you can go up to the move tools or use, WER to cycle between those. And now look at that. See?
Okay. Sorry, I got to start before the timer started.
I think this is good.
Michael, should this be the 10 or the 20?
I think this could be the 10.
Let's go.
I mean, it's got a lot of teeth, but the teeth are easy with the snake hook. And the vines are easy with the snake hook. I think you can get pretty close to a lippy, toothy, viney thing in 10 minutes by snake hooking your way into glory.
A fun fact about how they were able to have such amazing talking plants in this movie. It was this amazing Henson Creature Shop built plant that could articulate and move around and do all of the lip sync and everything like that, but not at full speed. It was a ginormous puppet to move around. And it's just really hard to move that much mass so quickly. So what Rick Moranis, the amazing human, did was they would play back the music at like half speed and animate the plant to a slower one, and Rick Moranis would do his acting in slow motion.
Holy cow.
So they could overcrank it and have a plant that was super articulated. It's amazing.
Oh, yeah, because back then their electronics technology wasn't where they could make something that large move with that much detail at that speed. So they would have to play it. That's such a good idea.
And if you watch them, it's like you can slightly tell there's like just the littlest bit of like shift and wiggle happening, like where he's trying to like take slow human steps.
You know, I'm gonna have to watch this movie at some point.
Wait, you've not seen this movie?
I've never seen the movie or the stage play.
It's so good.
I only know about it from what I read on Wikipedia
the
today.
movie is
Michael?
like the movie's a good, wholesome way to enjoy it.
Michael, I'm gonna be here to support you and say I have never actually watched it either.
Directed by Frank Oz.
I know.
Oh my! It's the music even is on point. It's this like weird doo-woppy 50s. Oh my gosh!
It just passed me by.
I know. I can't even think right now. I haven't even started on the project. I'm just so excited that some new friends are going to get to experience.
Oh, hey, Arrow, spacenews.com. Could you like DM Red Giant on Twitter or Instagram or on Facebook or somewhere to chat more about what you would like to see from Trapcode in Unreal Engine? The product manager for Trapcode is asking what is missing from Unreal that you think Trapcode could bring to it. They would love to hear more from you about it. So if you DM Red Giant, Max on Red Giant on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, or Threads, if you're that type of person, they would like the product manager for Trapcode would love to hear more from you about what you would like to see. Now, poor Vansh, is saying it's been a while since Hashi came out with a Cheap Tricks video, or Seth came out with a Seth Worley tutorial. Are you guys planning to make any more tutorial videos anytime soon?
We're doing it right now.
Yeah, we're doing it right now.
They made a more focused, dedicated tutorial series. I will say the Cheap Trick series that you make, Hashi, and the tutorials you've made, Seth, have both been like just full of like nonstop tips, and I can understand why people want more of them. I will say I have been making some,
and we do
I've been making
appreciate
some
that.
fast-paced tutorials on there on the Red Giant channel. If you hop on the Red Giant channel now, you'll see that there's quite a few tutorials from me on there, and one fairly recent Cheap Tricks from Hashi. But you two, are you planning to make any more tutorials anytime soon that are more focused than a 2-hour VFX tutorial?
I don't know how soon.
Michael literally just said he's filling that void very well. Go watch his.
Yeah,
but they're short.
I keep on getting sort of started on some, and then get distracted because I'm doing something exciting for this show.
Like this, doing something really important.
See, the thing about having, like I think that we are a fun trio of ADHDers trying to
all of us have ADHD.
Make our way in the.
If you couldn't tell.
By the way, did you take your meds, Hosh?
Oh man, probably.
Yeah.
See, that's the problem with ADHD, folks.
I'm surprised you don't do like you don't have a routine in place to make sure you do it. I mean, I'm not.
Well, the thing is, I have 20 routines in place because as soon as one fails, like I need to come up with another one, and then suddenly that one doesn't work so well. And
looking at Seth's screen, I'm thinking he's about to do the chompy flower from Mario movie, from the Mario Brothers universe, because he's got that little tube at the bottom there.
Yeah.
And whereas Hashi's already as recognizable as Audrey.
Yep. I'm just gonna work on Pac-Man here.
Inflate.
You've got 4 minutes and 43 seconds to finish your Pac-Man.
Wait. Well, quick edit mode is off. Oh. So is that this? Oh, what did I do? Transform palette? I activated something by accident.
IR Sculpts is in the chat, by the way. I forgot to mention that earlier, saying, "What is happening here? He. Well, IR Sculpts.
You are Sculpts.
As you can clearly say, as you can clearly see, things have turned suddenly Seymour. No, they.
Wait, what am I doing?
For those of you who haven't been watching ZBrush stuff a lot, IR Sculpts is an amazing artist. I've stood next to them and watched them create stunning things so fast in ZBrush. If you want some good, yes, IR Sculpts. It is Little Shop of Horrors. Yes. Why did the Twitch stream die? I don't know.
Oh wait! Oh no! I've done something I don't know how to do. Wait, I'm in quick edit mode. Why am I in quick edit mode?
Did something happen?
How did you get into
Why
it?
can't I be out of it?
No, Marley is asking why the Twitch stream stopped working, but it seems to be working fine.
Oh.
What have I done?
Hey, IR Sculpt, if you can help Hashi figure out what he did and how to get out of it, that'd be great. You could suggest something in the chat.
I moved myself into, what did I do? I'm in, Brush cannot be edited while I'm in quick edit mode is off. Please turn quick edit 3D edit in the transform palette. I would assume the transform palette is here. Edit object, where's quick edit? Oh, quick. Okay, don't know how I did that.
There it is. Got a
Good
neck
gravy.
happening. Got a neck going on.
Lost way too much time just doing.
Sam, you got
those
2.5 minutes. I think you can get a bunch of vines out the back end and some teeth in two minutes. You just need a bunch of teeth and a bunch of vines. I think you got it.
Whoops. Whoops, that's not what I meant to
I'm
do.
very curious about, because you two have very different approaches to your sculpting, and I'm kind of curious what that is, because Hashi, you seem to get a basic silhouette down pretty fast.
And I don't. Ah.
Do that again. That's so cool.
What am I doing?
What are you doing?
Fine.
Did you say vine or fine?
Ugh.
Well, you've got 2 minutes left, so.
I don't have time to do this and and tell you to screw off.
Sensual Star Wars.
I started nerding out too hard about.
Sensual Star Wars. Sensual Star Wars.
Falling apart.
Oh my god.
Are you snake hooking it, Hashi?
Oh yeah, I should snake hook.
This is a family show.
Right.
No time to snake hole.
When you watch a movie on your television screen,
53 seconds left.
the way it was originally intended.
50.
When you watch a movie on your television screen,
50 seconds?
42. 41.
Okay.
40.
That's not helpful.
What do I want? I want to. Oops.
You're not seeing it the way it was originally intended. When you watch a movie on your television screen, you're not seeing it the way it was originally intended.
Stop making.
Blixa is asking, do you all have social media? I want to follow you, but I'm having a tough time finding you. Well, you can find Red Giant at Maxon Red Giant on most of the social media channels, on Twitter/X, and on Instagram and Threads and Facebook is all Maxon Red Giant. I am. Time's up. I am the Great Zalam, the Great SZALAM on most of the social media channels. Hashi is Action Movie Kids or Action Movie Dad, depending on which social media channel you're on. And Seth is the Seth Worley or Awakeland 3D, different things.
Oh my gosh.
So there we go.
Hashi, that's incredible.
Time is up.
That's absolutely incredible.
I actually dig this.
So good.
I have wanted to animate, like just in general. I'm in love with Audrey II. I just love the design. Over the course of my life, I have built various scales of this with like physical props because I was like, I'm going to make a movie that is Little Shop of Horrors. I don't know why. Like as a kid, you just make movies that are other movies. But
so this prompt was like if Michael had said, create simulated gate weave on optical titles.
It's
is what it would have
exactly
been
like
for
that.
me, right?
Seth, you are so much closer than I would have been because you've got like clearly a plant with a mouth and vines. Like you've got stuff going on. Nick Smith says that you made Krang, which
That's what it looks like.
It isn't wrong.
That is what it looks like. Seth made Krang. It's going on my
Seth made Krang.
Justin Leduc says, amazing work, Hashi, and Seth is killing again with his beautiful abstract art. No, I think it's good. Y'all ready for the last prompt of the show?
Oh, I didn't realize IR Sculpts was our boy Ian. Our boy, our boss, our supervisor, our friend, our pal, our lover. I'm just digging myself a little hole here. Doop. Oh, it didn't do anything. I thought that would start digging a hole, and it didn't.
No, but you do need to save what you've got because you need to keep that for later. Don't lose anything.
Okay, I won't lose anything.
Bring it back. There you go.
Don't lose. We're going to take all of these props next week and start figuring out how to.
We're going to put them into the movie.
Animate and bring them to life.
All of them. It's going to be great. So, new sphere. No, I don't need it.
Okay, we're back to sphere. I'm going to save this as, what is this prompt? 5?
That was prompt 4.
Yeah.
Nice. We're doing okay. Oh, what am I doing?
No, it's prompt 5.
This is prompt 5.
Yeah.
Yes, the one you're about to begin is prompt 5. Do you like singing? Do you like danger? Do you like chopping up children's pets?
I didn't know what was happening.
I'm prompting. Do you like singing? Do you like danger? Do you like chopping up children's pets for medical purposes? Then you might like Pete the Dragon.
Wow, that was quite a misdirect.
Wild misdirect. Oh my gosh.
Well, you remember they were trying to use every piece for various purposes. My intention is for you to do Pete's Dragon from the 1977 movie, not the more recent one, which was sculpted in ZBrush, by the way, and you can hear talks from the Noman School from the guy who actually did the character design for the recent Pete's Dragon.
Not the photoreal one. Got it.
I don't want you to do the photoreal furry green one from the recent Disney remake. I want you to do the Pete's Dragon for the 1977 version. 20 minutes on the clock. Let's go.
All right.
I'm going to go back to Bex for some.
Yeah, this is not Puff the Magic Dragon who lives by the sea. This is Pete's Dragon, Elliott. Nick Smith is making a callback. Says next week's show will be titled Pose Morphs. Pose.
That's pretty good.
Pose Morphs. I mean, it's very similar to my T-pose joke from earlier, but I'll accept it. Now, here's a question for folks who are watching on the ZBrush channel who are actually sculptors, IR sculpts included. What would you say is the most important thing when you're building a character like this that's going to be expressive? Do you do the whole body first, or do you work on the face and then the rest of the body? I'm very curious how you would approach a character like this. Like, it's going to have an emotive face. That's going to be carrying a lot of how this otherwise fearsome creature would be seen as, like, in the show. Like, do you start with the face and get that right first, or do you do the whole silhouette first and then start going in on the details of a face? I'm very curious from actual character designers.
Why'd your audio
how you do this,
Michael?
I don't know. I didn't touch anything. I literally haven't touched it since I started talking. IR Scope saying they didn't even know that they remade Pete's Dragon. Yes, they did back in 2016, I think.
Yeah, it was directed by what's his name, who did the Ghost Story.
I've heard it was actually really good, just very different from the original. Because it's not a musical; it's more dramatic.
It's good, and it's a bit of a downer of a movie, to be honest. Like, I mean, it's good. Yeah.
That is
feels like that moment in the
Elliott
BBC dinosaur documentary where there's the
both you guys
impressive like ritual dance that the dinosaur does, and it's just like pew!
I knew I had to make one of today's prompts some sort of dragon, because everyone wants, when everyone first gets ZBrush, dragons are like the thing everyone wants to make with it. Because a lot of very famous dragons, like the ones from Game of Thrones, were made in ZBrush, and everyone wants to make dragons in ZBrush. I know I do.
Okay.
IR Sculpt says that they block out rough shapes of the whole body and focus on the silhouette first. Marley One Love is enjoying that bong that Seth is making.
All right, let's be kind, everybody.
No, that's accurate. I mean, it's 100% what I just made.
It's a start. Now I think both of you are missing how big the jaw is on the Pete the Dragon.
I'm not. I'm just not good
Elliott.
at this.
No, yours
Dragon is a cow.
Yours is recognizably a brachiosaurus.
Right, like an old-time Disney cow face.
No, it's like I recognize that skull. The top part of that skull looked like a brachiosaurus. Seth, you were like going for like realistic dinosaur, which is not what we're after. We're after a stupid cartoon dragon from the 1970s.
Oh, I'll get a stupid. Don't you worry.
Aerosculpt says after the silhouette is good, then it's cleaned up of the primaries and move into the secondary forms. And I feel like I should know what primary and secondary forms are, but I don't because I have never done sculpting in my life. Elemento says, this is pure chaos with so much happening. Welcome to VFX and Chill. This is a timer episode where chaos frequently happens.
Chaos reigns. I need to make that drop. My good buddy.
Oh,
go ahead, Michael. That's more.
I was just saying, I feel like we had a great chance for Tentacles Complete on the previous one with all those vines, but the vines on both your sculpts came in at the last second, and you're both doing such a good job that I didn't want to interrupt to make it happen. Justin LeDuc wants you to keep the butt chin you had for a second. I assume they're referring to the sculpt, not your webcam view.
I'm glad that they saw it as a butt and not something else.
Verity Clark says it's got sassy hands on your sculpt there, Hashi. They love the sassy hands.
Oh yeah,
those are some sassy.
I'm gonna try to leave these the best I can.
You can tell this dragon was in a musical. It's got those sassy hands going on. This music is great, by the way, Seth. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, Rex really killed it on this album.
I like the detail you've got going on the neck. It's looking good.
Good is it?
Hashi, those nostrils. Hashi, those nostrils are great.
Nashi, those
really
nostrils
need to work on
great.
it. It still needs like a hefty chin. Like the thing, it's got like. I know you're going to get to it eventually, but like I feel like it's the main part of its personality.
Hey, Hashi, when do you think Michael's going to shut up about this chin?
It needs a big dopey chin.
All right, I need a reference. I don't have a good memory of
sorry,
that.
my bad. There you go.
Now, Hashi, you are working on a half screen. I don't think it would be cheating.
I just realized I can pull up a reference over here. Okay, much better. I didn't remember how.
Hey, Ian, did you ever chat with the guy who did the creature design for Pete's Dragon in the remake? Because I would love to hear how they decided to make a furry dragon as opposed to a scaly dragon. So, anyway, if you ever chat with him, ask that for me, please. Thanks.
I made the thing from Neverending Story again. The dog.
You just seem to be drawn to that.
That clearly needs to be our prompt next time. Man.
Seth, I think this is your best one so far, as far as the head goes. It's looking pretty good.
My rabbit was pretty good, but
no, your rabbit was amazing for different reasons. Marley One Love from Twitch this time says they've been pretty hooked on Cinema 4D. They made a Ghost, a Submarine, and a Bowl, a few others so far. Yes, Cinema 4D is one of my favorite computer programs in the whole world. I can play in Cinema 4D for hours and sometimes get paid for it.
And have.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of stage graphics in it lately. It's very fun.
Just making a cow. Why can't I do the thing that I want to do? Okay. Go to be that big old round jawish thing. Because he's got a heck of a chin, right?
I don't know. Does it have? He can have a chin? I don't know.
Let's see, and then let me try this. Let's whoops! I moved the thing over here. I mean to do that.
This is garbage.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Okay, I gotta make this work.
What's interesting in the remake of Pete's Dragon is like they were working to get a lot of different characteristics from a lot of different animals into the dragon. Like they were focused on getting like almost a cat-like, like leopard, lion-y, like little face thing going on, as opposed to just getting totally lizard-based things. To that end, Seth, I appreciate the cowness that you're bringing to your dragon.
Michael,
well, I mean, I think that Pete's Dragon is super the 1920s
yeah, both
Disney
both
cows.
are very cowy. Yeah.
He gave yours a wig.
Give it a little wig.
Give a little.
You got 10 minutes left. 10 minutes left.
10 minutes left. Okay.
Julian Kin Archett says Hashi's dragon looks like Jay Leno. Yes, the guy.
Hey,
yes.
Beats a dragon. Yeah, it does. My perfect Jay Leno impression. I just did. I'm very proud of.
That was amazing. I thought he joined this stream.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jay Leno. Yours has so much character, dude.
So does yours, Seth. This is one of your yours feels like things.
That's what
I'm trying to do. I don't know what I'm trying to do. Ground clear. Let's go back to this, my favorite material. See, one thing I never remember to do is to actually use the masking tools when I'm sculpting, because they would be super helpful. Like they're a great thing to be there.
Are the masking tools
constantly to ever use them?
Are the masking tools in ZBrush like you paint an area and say, I don't want what I'm doing here to affect this masked area, or I do want to affect just this area, basically, so you can say, hey, this part doesn't get smushed around when I'm trying to move the chin? Is that basically how it goes?
Exactly. So like if I didn't want the
Nick Smith is enjoying the Legends of the Hidden Temple vibe in the previous music track.
It definitely has Legends of the Hidden Temple vibes. Fantastic reference. Oh, I thought we were almost done. We still have like...
No. You've got 7 minutes left. I'm
seven
and 3/4 almost.
Oh, nice. I like the allowed reminders. It's very small.
I wanted this one to have a bit more time, so you could actually, like, now that you're warmed up, like actually do something with it. But if you're like at a place where you're done, we can always stop and talk about other things before the show's end.
Is anything? I don't even anything up in the chat, Michael.
I have shared everything of note from the chat.
Cool.
As best I could. And folks in the chat, if you have any questions you would like to ask while they're sculpting, they've got almost 7 minutes left in this sculpt, so feel free to ask things and I'll pass it on to them.
I'm getting too detailed too fast, ignoring the rest. How big are your arms? Well, he's got regular size arms. I thought he had like T-Rex arms. Or regular.
Well,
this dragon's got regular arms. Everyone.
T-Rex arms are regular for T-Rexes.
Regular, I just mean they're all like they're tune portioned arms. Yeah.
Michael Palak says, talking about stuff at the end of the show, that would be a pose T morphem.
It's pretty good.
And kind of a sketch reference once you see my movie.
Whoops.
Whenever that movie eventually gets released, it'll be great. Michael Palak says, this is Seth's best sculpt yet. I agree. It's fantastic.
Oh, sweet.
We've got 4 minutes left. 4 minutes. 3:59. 3:58.
Shoot. Got up. All right, what do I need? I need try an inflate brush. Let's see if we can. There we go.
Looking for the inflate brush to make some more. Oh yeah, that adds bulk real fast. We are all about body positivity with our dragons on this show.
How do I do
Oh, what did I do? Sorry. Disco Dragon.
Seth, what happened to your wings? Justin Leduc was enjoying you winging.
It feels like there's
you
a
winging it.
tool for it, and I don't know what it is.
Wait, wings.
Yes, the dragon has
wings yet.
Yeah, you've got 3 minutes to make some good wings, Seth.
Ugh.
And Hashi. Yeah, I'm curious. How would you start pulling a wing up out of this? And also, this question is for anyone in the chat who actually who has done sculpting before. How do you start making wings? Because they're very thin, very large.
I think the snake hook again is your best bet for this stuff because
I did that, and then I inflated them, and then I tried to flatten them, but they didn't like it.
Ian, any ideas on how you make wings happen?
So I'd make the focal shaft bigger.
Maybe I do.
Oops.
Huge snake. I need to work to this album more often. This is
pretty great.
I was gonna say I need this album for working too as well.
If you want to find it, it's called a 1980 synth original motion picture sound pack by Bex Worley or Ben Worley. I'm not sure which one it's credited as in Apple Music.
I think it's Ben Worley is what the credit does. That one 3D artist suggests that if you can append or use Dynamesh, mask an area, use the move gizmo to pull it out, and then inflate. And that's how they would do wings. IR Sculpts says curve quad fill brush. That is the entire extent of that comment. Curve quad fill brush. I know all four of those words, but I would never have put them all together like that.
Okay, it did something.
Hashi, what the heck? I look away for 1 second. 1 minute left.
Oh, now we gotta...
I think wings would be a great topic for a whole sculpting episode because there's so many different kinds of wings. You have the kind of bat wings that dragons have. You've got birdie type wings.
Hashi,
the one with Tony Shalhoub.
That one 3D artist also says if you want to experiment with shapes, there are some nice IMMs.
Oh, thanks.
IR Sculpt, I don't know what that means either. IR Sculpt says, adjust the size of your brush, Seth. You've got 20 seconds.
No, I don't want to adjust the size of my brush.
And Michael Pollack says, loved curve quad fill brush in Shrek. 10 seconds.
10 seconds, really?
Yeah, 5.
Man, how do we... We did it, everyone.
Hashi, can you pull back for a second so we can see your whole thing? Look at those wings.
That's so good.
I was really excited to get to doing some belly detail, and I didn't get to.
I'm sorry, bud.
I'm all about the belly detail. Where are my tools? There we are.
Well, it's 2:00, everybody. Wow, that's the whole show.
Wow.
I think this has been a very successful edition of ZBrush, which I think we're going to have to do on the show a lot more.
I've really enjoyed this one. Like,
I think so too.
Both of you have done some really cool things on the show, and watching like people who've really barely touched ZBrush be able to make neat things. That's kind of fun. And IR Sculpts agrees. Says great stuff, guys. And Andrew Smith says this has been like pottery scene in Ghost, but with Seth and Hashi. Oh, speaking
very
of,
close to making that the thumbnail.
Yeah, there has been
easy at the end.
There has been a But with Raptors version of that pottery scene in Ghost.
That's pretty amazing. Yeah. Speaking of which,
thumbnail, I think. The thumbnail this week was almost us in Ghost, but I really like what it ended up being.
Hashi is adding that belly detail.
I needed that belly detail before I leave. I needed a belly.
Timer's up. No, sir.
Fine. I don't like rules.
That was not easy, but I did it.
That's the story. I looked right at mine after I watched that drop. I
think that yours has more charm. I think it's cute. It has things like eyes.
So next week we'll texture these, we'll rig them, we'll animate them, and comp them.
That sounds like an amazing episode. So hey, folks, make sure you hit
bring it all together. So
if you're on the ZBrush channel, this probably won't be on the ZBrush channel next week because they're not going to be in ZBrush. But if you want to follow along, hop over to the Max on Red Giant YouTube channel, hit subscribe and hit that bell, and you'll see them do the Cinema 4D and the visual effects compositing version with these models, or part of the workflow. I mean,
absolutely. Tosh, you got anything else?
Let's see. Do you have the image?
The image.
I meant to make sure we had the image.
Oh, no,
we don't need it. No, we don't need it anyway. It's time to go.
Time to go?
I think so. Hey, for those of you who may have remembered last week's episode, we had a controversial thumbnail. There has that we have, avoided such controversy in this episode, which we're happy about. If you want to see Seth and Hashi talking about it, the link for that is in the chat as they explain what happened and why and say sorry about it and whatnot. So the link's in the chat if you want to know about it.
Absolutely. But yeah, we loved y'all joining us today. And I think that this challenge is a very fun one. I kind of like, the idea of time. Yeah, just timers in general seem to force interesting art out of us.
Absolutely, they do. They do. I think much deserving. This week is much deserving of this logo. Thank you all for supporting us in our content. Please.
Absolutely. If this is your first time watching VFX and Chill, come check out what we do next week. We're going to do some fun stuff with these guys.
And if you're not sure what the show is still about, this is all you need to know.
It's stupid. All of it.